This Friday, the heartbeat of the motherland drops.
Let me show you now. We came from the motherland. I'ma hold you down.
Get ready for One Africa, the Imara Project.
You smell like and taste like love.
A powerful celebration of our culture, our history, and our unity through the sounds of Afro beats and Afro soul.
We are one people. We are one people.
From the bustling cities to the vibrant villages, from the drums to the mic, this is the music that connects us all.
She knows she's the truth with them braids, twist, afro. I say you better let 'em know.
One Africa, streaming everywhere this Friday. One Africa, where the rhythm meets the soul.
Welcome to Community Focus. I am your host, Lady J, for today, guest hosting. Don't get used to this, but I had to fill in. And today we have our special guest, Gemini, Ebony the Poet. Before we get into what she's got to bring to the table, though, I just want to say thanks to everyone who tunes in and watches. This is our 5th year anniversary. I was just told today, hey, I like that. Yes. And thanks to everybody who makes this show go, for all the guests that we've had on. We appreciate you, because without you guys, there would be no us. And I know Melvin, since he's not here, he usually goes into some stories, but just want to sit here and say this, because I get sick of politics, because it can get really messy. But pay attention, y'all, because there's a lot going on, and if we don't pay attention, we might lose a lot. I'm gonna leave it like that. A whole lot. Yes, exactly. Absolutely. So without further ado, we have Ebony. Or I got Ebony and Gemini. There you go. There we go. Ebony. Okay. Yeah, I helped out. Anyway, so we got Ebony Davis, also known as Gemini the Poet, and she's here to speak about the poetry after dark, the 69 shades of passion, masquerade, no ball.
Every time I hear that title, I just can't laugh. So first and foremost, the masquerade no ball means we just want masks. We do not want people. We want to dress up. We want everybody comfortable. It will be next Saturday. Of course, the location is hidden until they purchase a ticket. Relax. We don't just want to wait the day on there.
Okay.
This is the 14th year. My sister Jackie put it together. I'm kind of just like the wingman, co-host. Yeah, I wear my hats, but it's for my sister, so I'd be like, okay with it. But it's super dope this year because we have Jesus. I think I'm gonna have to repent after this year because every year she goes harder and harder for this. We have. I'm probably gonna say this wrong. Aerial dancer.
No, you said that right.
Okay. Oh, Jesus. Because if you only knew what I was calling it. We have Vixen returning. She debuted last year and did amazing. Vixen is an exotic dancer. That's what we're going to call her. We have...
Keep it a PG.
Very much so. We are going to have Fire Dance by Lene back, who also debuted last year. And we have artist Tiana. She's going to be painting a live painting that we are going to auction off that night.
Oh, that's so cool.
And am I missing somebody? No. No, 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 no. Oh, of course, me and Passion will be the host. We have Elusive Poet, Autopilot, Tone, Quiet Storm, Casper, Shayna, and we have Black Pain from New York coming in. But the feature poet I'm super excited for is Bo M.F. and Ellis. He is a famous Punani poet.
Okay.
And he actually reached out to Sis to come. And so we was just like, of course. And $100 best mask. So order your mask. Amazon has some super dope masks, and in true Gemini fashion, my mask will not be your typical mask.
Okay. I can see that one right there.
Yeah, and it's just a night of erotica. So many people, it's like a subject people don't want to talk about because they're like, nobody wants to hear the nasty, but you'd be surprised how many people want to hear the nasty.
And that's why it's so, I mean, you have to be careful, especially on this show. But
Yes,
absolutely,
yes. That's I'm over here
For
thinking hard.
grown folks, I think it's nice to have some events where people can talk about things that may be stereotypically
Yeah.
undiscussed. I don't know if that's a word, but
And
you know what I'm saying.
If you're talking to a poet, everything can be a word today. And it's crazy because last year, from what I do remember, because that night we are also like on a million. We had every age demographic you could think of.
Really?
Yes. And it was just amazing because once I saw him, I'm like, oh my God, did you really hear what I said on that mic? And I'm an adult, but I'm just like, don't tell my mama. Because my mom has been trying to go for the last like 4 or 5 years. And we're thinking next year we may let her attend one.
Wow. She's got to get permission.
Because who wants to look out in the audience and just know your mom is out there while you're talking like this?
Well, you knew what you were doing. No. So before we get more off into the event, give us a little bit of backstory about what got you into poetry. And then if you can, do a little bit for Jackie as well.
With me, poetry was an escape. I dealt with a lot, and I'm a even as Gemini the poet, and people are like, oh, you're so outspoken. I keep so much to myself. And writing was the way that I could release it, so it wasn't just like on me. And then when I lost my daughter, I wrote even more. I found out a couple years ago, my mom them showed me I was making cards when I was 13. So I guess I've been doing it for a while, longer than I remember doing it.
Cards like what, Hallmark cards?
Like greeting cards for people, like for like Father's Day, I would make my uncle a card, and I would put the words in it, and I draw. I could not draw, FYI. And in 2010, when the violence happened, Timothy Thomas was actually a friend of mine that I grew up with. So when he was killed outside of Rush Street, I was really angry, and I just wrote. And to this day, I cannot remember how PA and Big Rob heard it, but that's kind of what got the ball rolling with me doing poetry. And with Sis, you know, she started with De'Erica, Kamasi, and all them. They had WALPS, Word All Out Poetry Society. And I'm trying to think of her story. I know her story. She's gonna kill me when she hears this.
I don't want to get you in trouble now.
But no, she's been writing for a while too, and for so long it's been taboo because people want to put her in a box. And she's so much more than just the nasty poet. She actually makes me come have writing sessions. We push each other, and it's a lot deeper than just erotica. We challenge each other to, hey, you can memorize this piece. This is what we're gonna do to memorize this piece. This is what you need to change. This is what you need to keep. It's so much that goes into it, and I think a lot of people just see us performing and they're like, oh, this is easy for them to do. No, it's not at all.
So what made you guys bring this event to Muskegon as far as, you know, because this is the second year?
No.
Oh, okay.
14.
Where have I been?
Listen, so okay, don't feel bad because I didn't come along until like the 9th or 10th.
Okay.
It started with Words Out Loud Poet Society, where her and Derek and them started in De'Erica Nichols Woods' mom's backyard.
Okay.
And then it grew. And for years we had it at the lakes. We did Mona Lake, we did Pierre Marquette,
We literally had like 250 plus people at Pier Marquette,
Okay.
and we had to run before the police came. But they came and they helped us with the lights. They like shined their lights so we could see, because all we had was candles and candles. We didn't even have tiki torches. We just had candles.
Oh, wow.
So when we all blew them out to leave, it was just dark. But the police, because it wasn't like a rowdy crowd, they saw we were just all gathered.
Mhm.
They literally put their trucks to where we could see on the beach and make sure we cleaned up like we were doing. And Mona Lake, same thing. We had a whole bunch of people at the lake just having a ball. Um, and the dope thing about it is it's never been an incident.
Absolutely.
And
Say that one more time.
it's never been an incident.
Okay.
Not a one. And it's a night where people will just like get to be free, because so many of us have titles. And so when you go out, you have to make sure you're not doing X, Y, and Z. This is the one event where we tell people, when you come here, just let your hair down. This is a no judgment. This, you don't have to be professional. You can twerk on headlights with your ratchet friends and ain't nobody gonna tell. And it's a night of fun. Like, it's the one night we could just be free. It's very interesting. Like, it's very interesting. Like, I've poetry after dark. You clutch pearls, you laugh, you have a friend on speed dial. But it's just a night of passion and fun. Like, and every year she doesn't surprise. Like, this girl is already talking next year, and I'm like, no. Pause. We just got to make it through this year first, because we're trying to expand. So with like locations, we have to be particular, because the beach, you used to use the hidden beach at Pier Marquette, and as we know, the water has moved all that.
Yeah.
Mona Lake closes at 11. Hands tied. So it's like we've strategically found different places to hold it so that we can go for an extended period of time and enjoy the night and not have to rush through anything.
So from when it first started, you said 14 years ago?
Yeah.
Okay. How have you seen it change or develop throughout the years?
Man, it's to the point where there's people asking year round, like, when's the next one? Her creativity grows each year, because when she told me last year it's gonna be somebody on fire, I'm like, listen, ma'am, they tell us to stop, drop, and roll when we on fire. Why do we have somebody burning themselves? She's like, no, it's not like that. I'm like, oh. She's like, trust me. So I've gotten to the point where I just trust her, because even with the aerial dancer, I'm just like, first off, that's not what I thought it was when she said it. I thought it was the other part of the female body. And I'm just like, the who dancer? And so she showed me the picture, and the girl is super dope. And one thing that Jackie prides herself on with this event is making sure it's all people of color.
Okay.
So our whole lineup is people of color. And the super dope thing about this year is one of my former poppin' students is the actual DJ, DJ Steve-O.
Oh, really?
Yes. So we were thinking of a DJ. I said, listen, let's give him a chance. She was like, if you say he good, I'm going to trust you. So he gets to enjoy it. And I'm pretty sure his mind is about to be blown, because he just knows Gemini. He doesn't know the side of me that he's about to see.
Does it feel now? So let's put on a different hat right now, because a lot of people do recognize you for the community work that you do.
Mm-hmm.
And so a lot of that stuff you are fueled on is helping the youth.
Definitely.
How do you feel? Because you just mentioned Steve-O. How do you feel when you see one of the people that you worked with, or one of the younger folks you worked with later on in life, and they're still doing what, they came to do?
It's a surreal feeling. Because any student that I work one-on-one with, I tell them we're locked for life. Like, they can call me if they need something, they can hit me up. Anything. It's never a cutoff limit when they're through with school. And he will reach out every now and then for advice or pointers. And it's just like, to see him out here doing everything he said he wanted to do and not getting distracted, it's like a proud parent almost. I love the kids. I love the kids.
Why are you so passionate about helping the youth?
It's, well, my daughter would have been almost 30 now, But it was more so pouring into her generation and the kids. Like coming up, we had a village. Coming up, we had adults that cared, and you knew wherever you went, you were safe. And our kids don't have that. And I know coming up, we thought we had it rough. We didn't have it rough. Um, and we had parents that we could talk to, kind of, sort of. We didn't want to tell them, but we could if we wanted, we had to.
Mm.
But a lot of these kids don't have an outlet. So I try to make it my purpose to give them somebody they can call and talk to and not have to worry about being judged or labeled or and I tell them as long as they're not doing anything that's harming themselves or putting them in harm's way, it's between us. I'm not gonna go tell your parent everything you talk to me about. That's if you want to talk to them, you to talk to them.
Yeah.
As long as there's nothing that's detrimental to them, it stays with me.
Mhm.
And I tell them now, I'm not going to co-sign nonsense either. I'm going to tell you the truth. And unfortunately, and not unfortunately, it's fortunately a lot of the kids are receptive to talking with me.
Okay. Okay. Well, speaking of more as far as poetry, I'm sorry, because I'm thinking of one question and another one popped up. But
Having a
anyway,
Gemini moment.
there you go. So you mentioned the Words Out Loud Poet Society. Is that still intact, or are you guys working on another one? What's going on with that?
No, it's just it's kind of everybody kind of went their separate ways as time progressed. But mostly it's me, Kamasi, Kaizen Kabir, and Passion. We're the ones that just like refuse to let the poetry scene die. Um, because poetry is art, and we're gonna get it respected one way or another.
Gotcha, gotcha. So it's your guys on a mission to sit here and at least continuously bring these types of events
Oh,
to
definitely.
the crowd. So what other events do you have? Any other events that are coming up that we
Mm,
may not know about, or
So, Monday, me and Kaizen Kabir are at Hackley Public Library because we have partnered with them to do an open mic, a community open mic every 3 months. And it's continued to grow. We had a I don't know what it's called. The people in Hawaii that dance. We had a
Hulu?
yeah, she was
Hula?
a hula a dancer. And it grows. And it's a very diverse crowd. So we have that this coming Monday. I start school Monday. Back to the kiddos.
That's
Um,
fun.
man, so much fun. And it is something coming up in November, but I'm not 100% sure if I can speak on that yet. But I'll be back to talk about it because I don't want to get them. I don't want to put it out there yet for them.
Okay.
But it's something coming up in November where I'll be teaming up with some people.
Okay. That sounds good. So I know you do the open mic night with Kaizen Career
hmm
at Hackley Public Library. Tell us more about that event because I don't know how many people utilize that and know about it too.
So I don't even remember how Mallory like reached out to us. I think it was just like a trial and error thing, and we did it, and it turned out amazing the first time. And then she's like, "Hey, would you guys be willing to come back every 3 months?" And it's usually on a Monday. And we're like, "Yeah." So we pretty much there every 3 months. We open it up, and we actually pushed it back this month to 2 hours because 1 hour we ran out of time to where people couldn't even perform.
Mm.
So it got to the point where we're like, hey, we won't say anything so everybody else can get through and say what they want to say. Um, and it's a safe place. Like we have from elders to young people. Like another young person that I worked with,
Mm.
I think I can't remember what school, so I'm not gonna say the school because I don't remember if it's the right one. But he was from a school, and I didn't know this young man was following me since I've been at that school, and he actually showed up with his wife and performed. And so it's like super dope to see that the work we're putting out there is doing what we wanted it to do.
So when you see events like that or the people that come out, do you see like a lot of diversity when it comes
Oh,
to all the people who come out, the talent that's there? Are there's people that we don't even know about that they would come out to that, but you won't see them anywhere else?
yes. There is a young lady who does spoken word who's super dope, and I can't think of her name off the top of my head, but she just appeared and she's really good. We had some ladies that played like the piano keyboard thing and was singing, super dope. And again, we have white, black, Hawaiian, mixed. We have Indian. We have older white people, younger white people, older black people, younger black people. We have a man that I don't know if it's part of his act or not, but he comes in with like some leggings on
Okay.
with the wig, and he is dead serious from the time he gets there. But he say he's the funny grandma, so I don't know if he's like playing with us or not. But it's just super. It feels good to know that people know that they're in a place where they're not going to be judged, and we're going to give them a platform.
Okay. So, is there all types of ranges when it comes to the Hackley Public Library event? And then, like, what are the times so people know?
It is 5:30 to 7:30. We're trying to make that a permanent time because it was 5:30 to 6:30, but that hour was not letting it happen. And it's crazy because that's the one place where I'm like, okay, people might slowly trickle in. They're actually on time,
Okay.
and I'm just like, wow, this is new. We're not used to people being on time. um, they're on time, and the library is like super accommodating. And it's just dope. Like it's crazy dope. You can't even explain it. You just have to be there to feel it. It's an energy in that room during that time frame that's just super dope.
Okay. Cool. 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 So, we're gonna switch another hat. That's what G Man would say. So we're gonna switch hats. Okay. I hope you heard that one. I hope you're watching, G Man. Anyway, um, so you currently work at Muskegon Public Schools,
Yes.
and I think I saw something where you said like this is a dream come true for you.
Mhm.
Would you want to elaborate?
Okay, so coming up, never in a million years would I have thought I was working in somebody's school. Like, no, no, thank you. I wanted to be first a detective, then a juvenile probation
detective?
officer.
You about to be out here trying to catch people?
Yeah, listen, I watch the ID channel and I usually solve the crimes correctly.
Okay.
Um, but as I got into the poetry, and I would pray for God to use me as He see fit, and with the poetry, it kind of led to the kids. And so when I applied at the school, I got denied quite a few times because they didn't know my real name.
Mm.
People really think my name is Gemini the Poet. Um, so in the schools, I'm actually known as Miss Gemini because I don't even say my government because people just look at me when I say my government. And then I say Gemini and they'll be like, oh, I know her. It's me. Um, and I'm a para. And I work one-on-one with students. And I had a student who, no lie, whole school was terrified. They was like, she's this, she's gonna be hard. It's gonna be hard. And the principal asked me every day, like, gonna see you tomorrow? That's me. Yeah, why not? And when I first met her, I'm just like, now I'm short. So if I think somebody's short, they short. I'm like, this is the one that they terrified of. But again, I approached her just like I approached any other kid. You know, we had boundaries. I watched her for a while. She watched me. We had to fill each other out. And as the year progressed, she got comfortable. The only outburst that she had. Now, this is somebody who would tear the school down. The only outburst she had was when she had a moment and they would not come get me because they said I was on my lunch break. Um, she went from never taking tests to I explained to him if she has certain things that's preventing her from catching on like the other students, can I try something? They let me try it when it came to her spelling test. And from the day we tried it through the end of the year, she got straight A's on her spelling test. And she had
I feel
never.
like, is there an applause? Let me see an applause button for that. Because with the youth, and it comes
Man.
down to that, I just need to see. Let me see. You know what?
Oh, man. Yeah. And her mom, at conferences actually cried and was just like, "Thank you for not judging her, and for giving her a chance." And it got to the point where every morning, because I knew she was hard on herself, I made personal affirmation cards that she had to pick from, and she had to say it. I'd read it, and then she'd have to repeat it, and then we start our day. If she had a problem, she knew to come to me before acting out. And she actually, again, that was somebody who never took a test before. Then her other accomplishment was she got student of the month and had never, like, her mom and dad was just, they were crying. I don't try to cry in public, y'all. I had to hold it together. But both of the students that I had during that year that other parents kind of shied away from, I guess, before me. Both were student of the month. Both excelled through the end of the school year, and that's what it's all about for me.
Well, I would give another round of applause, but I don't know if I can get it to work. Well, that is a great thing.
Definitely.
What do you see as the biggest difference between the youth now and the youth back in the day?
They don't feel like they have a voice. They don't feel like adults hear them. They feel like we just want to tell them what's best for them instead of getting their input. And so with any of the youth that I work with, my biggest thing is talk to me, let me know how I can help you. And then I'll tell you my truth. If I tell them I'm not always, I wasn't the good kid, trust me. I say, so I'm not gonna pretend that I was, and I keep it a buck with them. And I think that's what a lot of kids appreciate. They don't want you to sugarcoat and tell them, well, you know, this could happen. Because if you've never done anything or been in any trouble or been through nothing, how can you tell me what it's like to go through something?
Mhm.
And a lot of these kids, life is hard. Working with Pathfinders this past summer, we were at the middle school, and the first day where they had the bags they could take, we had leftovers. As the time progressed, we had no leftovers. And so for me, I'm like, okay, some of us look at these bags and be like, oh, that ain't nothing. But to some, that's all they got. And so they were looking forward to it. And what I really loved about Pathfinders was they know the bags are sometimes kind of iffy. So they would make sure there were additional snacks the kids could take and have. And so it's like some of these kids are hungry when they come to school. Maybe that's why they're not listening. Some of these kids may not have the proper things to take a shower in the morning or to change clothes or so it's so many things that's coming into play that I see working in the school and closer in the school with these kids that it's just like we didn't have to think about these things coming up because our parents they made a way. And it's not saying the parents of today don't make a way, but some it's hard.
Mhm.
It's hard right now. And a lot of parents sometimes I think, especially in our community, pride is a bad thing because our pride will stop from reaching out for help from some people. Because I know some people who may be going through it, and I'm just like, why don't you ask? But you don't want to be judged. You don't want to have all these people in your business, as they say. So the kids are affected by it, and you can see it in their performance in school.
Mhm. So there's a direct connection to that. I definitely can see how
Hmm.
that can be a big part to play within that. So, uh, knowing that, how important is it to have community programs to you,
Oh,
and why is it so important to do that work?
it's extremely important because I had to think about it. The other day, I think me and my best friend were talking, and it's just like coming up. First off, we had to do homework for we went outside in the summer. But once you went outside, you could go to McCray, you could go to Craig School, you can go to Angel School, you can go Sheldon Park. You can go to all these parks and get food while you're out playing all day long, riding your bike. You could stop at so and so house and eat with their family and go back to y'all next destination. I used to be at Craig School playing basketball all day, but everybody made it home by them street lights. And
The street lights, I tell you, you had to be home by them street lights. They were not playing that.
nah, and it was safe, and we weren't worried about what we gonna eat. We weren't worried about nothing but being kids and having fun. And so now with Pathfinders, that's not I support them wholeheartedly because they truly try to give our kids an experience of what childhood is supposed to be like. Because me and Mossy actually did our program, our poetry program. Like we did not get paid for it. But the dope thing about it is we had a lot of people in the community step up and donate when we decided we wanted to do it. Um, and it's because our kids deserve the same opportunities that all these other kids get.
I agree. I definitely agree. So, unfortunately, that is our time right now. But before we go ahead and put in that plug for your upcoming event. Tell them why they should come and
Oh,
how they can get tickets. Oh, are you guys sold out?
No, we're not sold out yet, but it's getting close. We're gonna leave a ticket here with you guys to give away sometime from now through next Saturday. But next Saturday at dusk, 8 o'clock, people. Passion Poetry presents Masquerade No Ball. Masquerade mask, $100 to the best mask. Her brother CJ Hallman will be on the grill cooking it up. We got DJ Stevo on the ones and twos. We got Vixen. We got a dope lineup. And as you come in, if you partake in adult beverages that require you to be 21 plus, we will have super soakers, one dark, one light, that you'll get a shot as you come through the door.
Oh my.
Tickets are $40. And people I know, they're like, it went from free to charging because Poet, listen, this is a hustle. Just like, I'm gonna keep it a buck. This Gemini speaking. We pay 20 to 25 to go watch people stand in a circle at a club. Don't dance, don't do nothing. Y'all talk and you watch people. You paying $40 to get an experience. A dope lineup. Like the Punani Poet, he's coming from like Florida or the Bahamas or somewhere beforehand. Like he's a world-known poet. And the work that goes behind the scenes, I promise you, you will not be disappointed. Her sister is going to be here. She was supposed to perform. She's not. But all I'm going to say is y'all pay attention in the audience because if her outfit is what she's describing, you will not miss her sister. But it's a dope evening, dope vibes. You can hit up me. Passion is in New York right now. That's why she's not here with me. She'll be back Monday. But in the meantime, in between time, I do have tickets. You can hit me up on Facebook. You can call my business line 231-531-6103. I think. Yeah. And again, tell a friend to tell a friend because once it's sold out, y'all gonna be hit. You're gonna have to wait till 2026. And I want to hear, oh man, can you please get me in? Because I'm gonna tell you this. A lot of people last year waited until that day to hit us up. Literally 2 hours before we about to start. And we're during the day, that day we're bustling.
Yeah. It's a
Please, can I get a ticket? Please, can I get a ticket? Please, can I get it? Please. Listen, if you call me on Saturday, you're liable to get the voicemail. If you inbox me on Saturday, you're liable to get left on red. And I'm telling you, same goes for sis because 9 times out of 10 we're together. So if you call one and I don't answer, she's not going to answer either because we're busy. So get your tickets, people. I promise you. Location is on the ticket. And we do that to keep the nonsense to a minimum because can't nobody just show up and pop up and get mad because they can't get in if they don't know where it's at.
That is clever.
Yeah, so
Take notes.
Only way you know is if you get a ticket. So if you need a ticket for Poetry After Dark, please don't hesitate to hit up me, a passionate poet. And I'm gonna leave a ticket here at the radio station for them to give away at their discretion. So y'all better stay listening today.
There you go. There you have it. That was Ebony Davis, Gemini, the poet. We're going to be back with more. Thanks for coming out.
Man, thank y'all. I ain't been here in a long time. I got to come back.
There you go.
Got to come back.
And we'll be back with more coming up with United Way in their tutoring program with Amber Rumsey.
There ain't no limit to where you go when you put your heart in it. We going far, but the sky is the limit. There ain't no place like home. It's the kids' free trip to Africa, going back to the motherland. You gon' wish you were there with us. Pack your bags 'cause we're leaving now. Kids' free trip to Africa. Your heart in it.
Network. The all-new Umoja Radio Network, home to over 40 Black-owned radio stations and podcasts, is here for you. Connect to the world's fastest-growing collection of unapologetically Black and proud media, from podcasts to independent Black-owned radio stations, and access to the important news and music you need. Umoja Radio is from our culture, by our culture, for our culture. The all-new Umoja Radio is available right now on Google Play and the Apple Store. Join the movement. Be empowered.
And here we are back. I have Amber Rumsey. She is the education specialist of United Way. Welcome.
Thanks for having me today.
Yes, thanks for coming out. So you are here to speak more about the literacy and math mentoring program in Muskegon?
Yeah, so United Way of the Lakeshore strives to meet the needs of our ALICE families, so our asset limited, income constrained, and employed families. And we find that education is at the core of what we can do to lift families out of circumstances. Here in Muskegon County, we have over 50% of our students who are testing underneath grade level before reaching third grade. So we know that in the education world, you learn to read up to third grade, and after that, you're supposed to be able to read to learn. So when our students are coming into third grade below grade level, it's really setting them up for a hard time. With that in mind, the United Way has some programming that we do to support that. One of the ones that I am really excited to share today is our Literacy Mentor program. So we train volunteers with the MAISD to do what's called the Enhanced Alphabet Knowledge Program. We call it EAK for short. And so it's a routine that's really easy to follow. It's very scripted. The volunteers go into elementary schools 1 day a week for 2 hours and meet with kindergarten students to teach them their letter identification for their letters and their letter sounds. Last year, we were able to service 4 schools. We had Bunker Elementary, Campbell Elementary, Orchard U Early Elementary, and Holton Elementary. We are proud to expand into Fruitport this year, all 3 elementary schools. And we're hoping to eventually expand our literacy program into Muskegon Heights, but we actually did do our math mentor program last year in Muskegon Heights. We had a math mentor who went to Martin Luther King Elementary and worked with third graders on math once a week.
Okay. So with you made a statement. It was saying that basically you learn to read up to the third grade and then you read to learn. With the mentors that have came through the program, how have you seen them coming in change the students as far as how they look at reading now so far?
That's a really good question. You know, when we get our kindergartners coming in to our schools, a lot of them are struggling with those letter identifications immediately. So we have students who enter our program only knowing 1 or 2 letters. And by the end of the school year, they know all of their letters and they're ready to move on into the basics of reading for first grade. So it's really setting them up for success. It gives them that one-on-one time with somebody who's vested in their specific education. Teachers we know are doing the best that they can, but having that extra dose from another caring adult makes all the difference for our kiddos.
That's great to know. So with the current way that things are going for a lot of the kids who need the mentoring help, what do you think is one of the main causes of why they get behind, or how do you think they get behind? Do you think the classrooms are too full? Do you think it's the curriculum? There's a lot of things that are going on within the, politics and government that are switching things around. What do you think, or what has the program seen, is one of the main causes that the kids aren't able to get where they need to go?
So United Way specifically doesn't track data to that extent, but I can speak from, I actually was an elementary school teacher before my role here at the United Way as education specialist. And this is my personal opinion from that experience right now. I would say it's a multitude of different things. And I know that we don't necessarily like to hear that because we like to be like, well, it's this, let's fix this. But a piece of research that I find really interesting is that children are primarily working through getting their brain development happening between the ages of 0 and 3. About 80% of your brain develops during that time. That's before you ever enter a public elementary school.
80%.
So we need to start investing in our youngest learners making sure that everybody has access to quality childcare so they are set up for success later on. Because if there's one thing I can tell you, I taught fourth grade.
Mm.
And if you get behind from the beginning, it is that much harder to catch up later on. I would frequently get students in my fourth grade classroom that were at a second or third grade reading level, for example. And the year that I had them, they would 100% make a year's worth of growth. But a year's worth of growth when you're already at a second grade level, that only puts you on to a third grade reading level moving into fifth grade.
Yeah.
So we're working hard and the kids are working really hard, but we need to go back to the beginning, make sure everybody has that structure, that foundation,
Mhm.
so everybody is set up for success as we move forward.
Absolutely. I can definitely see how that can be. And so with the program now at hand, what are you guys currently looking for? Do you need extra volunteers with the school year coming up? What do you guys need from the community in order to have better success?
Yes, thanks so much for asking. So we absolutely need volunteers. We know that we have the need. The kids are there. They need the adults to come in. And so we're really looking for any adult in our community who has a passion for education, who's willing to dedicate one day a week for just 2 hours to sit with our kindergartners and practice their letter sounds. We will train those folks. You can go to unitedwaylakeshore.org, and then up at the top in the right-hand corner, we have a little volunteer button. If you press that button, it'll take you to our needs. And then you can find which school you might be interested in helping out at that time. Most of our schools are so excited to have our volunteers that they're actually willing to be pretty flexible about times as well. Some of them have set times, but we can find something that works with your schedule. You just have to have the desire to help our kiddos, and we'll set you up.
Oh, that's great. I mean, I think that's a great thing that you guys are doing. And since the program has started, you've spoken that there has been quite success within the program. So you just said it was like an hour a day, I believe.
2 hours.
2
I'm
hours
sorry,
a day.
yep.
So 2 hours a day with the kids have made that much impact throughout the year.
So I want to clarify, the volunteer comes in for 2 hours a day, but each child in the program is meeting with a new volunteer every single day of the week. So they're meeting Monday through Friday with a volunteer for a 15-minute time frame every single day, working on this routine. And then we're seeing this huge impact at the end, where it's just having that consistency, having somebody take that time to work with you when you need a little bit of support.
So it's really 15 minutes.
It's
a
15
day
minutes per child.
per child. So
Yep.
15 minutes per child
Yes,
per day.
correct.
And it's made that so it's not even
Absolutely.
something that where people feel like, oh, it's going to take a whole lot. It's literally
No.
just consistency and then 15 minutes of time.
That's
with the child.
exactly right.
Wow. How do you see the kids react when it comes to the help that they're getting?
The kids really form really meaningful relationships with volunteers. They're always happy to see their volunteer. Some of the folks who are a little bit older kind of take on a grandma, grandpa vibe for some of the children, but they really become integral parts of the school family, which we want to see, because that's the kind of stuff that builds a community and makes it stronger.
Absolutely. So what grades are we talking about when it comes? Is it just kindergarten or do they go higher?
So for the literacy mentor program, we're doing kindergarten and sometimes first grade. And then for the math mentor program, we are working with primarily third graders right
Okay.
now.
Oh, so that's really simple math. So the training process, I can imagine it doesn't last long.
So we actually, it's going to sound like it's long, but it's because there's a lot of time for practice.
Gotcha.
So we have about a 3-hour time chunk that's dedicated to the initial training, where we have an expert from the ISD come in and walk along you with the process. We model it to you, and then we let you practice with each other. And then that very first week that you're working with kids, we actually have a support person there as well. So it's either going to be a literacy coach from the ISD or myself with my background in education, but you're never thrown in alone in your first week.
So she just said that they're going to basically help you with everything.
That's exactly right.
All you have to do is show up and do the work. I mean, you can't beat
Show
that.
up and love the kids,
I know.
right? Yeah, be there for the kids.
And they're not throwing you to the wolves. I mean, the kids will be nice.
They really are. They're very appreciative to have that level of attention. A lot of kids coming from those bigger classroom sizes, because that is part of our issue as well, as having too many kids in one room so you don't get that individualized care as much as needed.
Mhm.
They appreciate that one-on-one time so much. So you're making a huge difference.
Absolutely. So you spoke about Alice families within this particular program. Are there any other programs that you work on that are catering to the Alice programs within Muskegon County through United Way?
Yeah, so sticking to my education piece, I am going to take this time to share about the Dolly Parton's Imagination Library. So, Dolly Parton's Imagination Library actually delivers free high quality books to children ages 0 to 5 in Muskegon County. Everybody qualifies. There is no income limits. It does not matter how much or how little you make. You can get that book delivered once a month to your child. We know that the research shows that access to books in your home heightens your limits to success in the future. So if just that simple act of getting books in the hands of kids is putting them in a place where they are better off,
Mhm.
I think that's something we can all get behind here in Muskegon County.
Absolutely. I know my daughter was in that program and she was absolutely elated when a book came out to the door. She's like, I
Uh-huh.
have a new book. I have a new book. Important and is there anything that you guys do that helps with the parents who may have children that need help in education to have that continue on at home or to give them
Yeah.
access to those materials?
I really, really enjoyed that question in the sense that the Great Start Collaborative works really hard on that. So we partner with the Great Start Collaborative, which is in the ISD, to focus on getting resources in the hands of families. And so that includes modeling. So you might have seen around different play and learns that we have popped up all around Muskegon County. We also partner with Read Muskegon to do that, and the Great Start Collaborative partners with them. But I would recommend to any parent who is looking for a way to kind of interact with other families to get onto the ISD website and look up the Great Start Collaborative of Muskegon County. You'll find a family there. And they also have the Parent Coalition, or the Family Coalition, I think it's called now, because we know all families look different.
Mhm.
And the Family Coalition is a huge place of support for families as we're trying to grow and do what's best for our kids.
Oh, okay. So that was the ISD website you said?
Yeah, so it's on the MAISD website, the Muskegon Area Intermediate School District, and you'll go to the tab underneath early childhood, and it'll take you to resources from, it's called the Great Start Collaborative. So many wonderful things. They have every community event that you can think of on there. A great way to see resources modeled to you and how to use them, and also just a great way to connect with your community.
Absolutely. And then this program is free to those who use it.
That's exactly right.
How important it is for them to have that accessibility, especially when sometimes other things are something that's hard to afford? Well, what is the importance of that?
I see education as an equalizer. The two things that we have in our life that equalize us are voting and education.
Mm.
And so the fact that we have these education resources available to everybody at no cost is essential, because that should not be the barrier for your child to have a quality education. We need to make sure that we are meeting everybody where they are to give everybody what they need to be successful. So I am very excited about the programming that's done through those programs. And we do know that right now, some of those funding pieces are at risk. So that's why it is very important to reach out to your local representatives and let them know that you care about what the Great Start Collaborative does. You care about these things because you care about your community and the education of our children.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So when it comes to the children that need the most help, I don't know if you guys do study the demographics of the program and how successful or and which group needs it the most. But what do you, if you do, what do you
Mhm.
normally find in those statistics or those materials that are there?
So I can speak to not necessarily to our demographics and who we're working for in our particular program,
Mhm.
but we do have research that shows overwhelmingly that families that are in situations of low income tend to do poorer in school settings. And a lot of that has to do with your immediate needs not being met at home, right?
Mhm.
It's not it's not that parents or families don't care about their kids. Everybody loves their kids for the most part, right?
Mhm.
We're coming in with this positive piece of everybody wants to do what's best for their child. But when your primary goal is, I have to make sure that my child eats before I can make for sure they do their homework, or I have to make sure that I'm getting a paycheck to keep a roof over their head. And because of the time frame of my job, it's hard for me to get up and get those kids to school on time. We have
Mhm.
a lot of judgmental pieces in our community that we need to just kind of embrace with love and understanding instead. And so I really hope that's what we can see moving forward.
Okay. Definitely a huge part of being able to be successful. It's a lot of flowing pieces to it.
Mm-hmm.
And with you being in United Way, are there a lot of different programs that you see that are there to cater to one another to help the flow of filling in those gaps for the things that may help with the other programs?
I believe that there are quite a few programs. I will say, as an elementary teacher, I would often say, I wish X existed. And then at the United Way, I learned that it did. I just didn't know about it. So I do think that a lot of the programming that we support, like the child abuse councils, a great example. We support that piece. If you're at risk at home in any way, you're not going to be doing well in school.
Mhm.
They come in and offer support where needed, offer the counseling where it's needed. Mediation and restoration services is such an underutilized piece here in our
Yes,
county.
great people.
Absolutely. Not only are they great people, it's also a piece to understand that we can mediate before we get to the court system, right?
Yes.
So, especially in our schools, particularly, I'm thinking those older kids that as we start seeing problems, instead of being like, oh, well, I'm going to call the police, we need to be calling mediation and restoration services and figuring out a plan for them to be successful. So I would love to see that moving forward. And I know they would love to see that moving forward. Call them.
Yes, yes, absolutely. If you know a child who needs some help, instead of just, trying to throw the book at them, give them a chance to speak. 'Cause sometimes they you find them opening up in different environments if they're given the chance to do so.
And that's exactly right. And mediation restorative services are free, and the people are trained to have those conversations, right? And it's always, sometimes I think having somebody in that's not directly related to it can help a lot in doing that. And I think we can see a lot of growth with our absenteeism issues if we were to do that more. So I would push that out to all our school districts.
Absolutely. So you did mention before that you guys are trying to grow the program
Yes.
even more. So tell the audience more about that part.
Yeah. So at this time, our only limit to growth is our volunteers.
Mhm.
We know that people are busy. We know that we're asking a big time commitment, but our kids are worth that time commitment.
Mhm.
So we can, if you're hearing this today, you think, I wish that my child had this at my school. Give me an email, amber@unitedwaylakeshore.org, and we'll find out how to get this program at your child's school, because all we need is yourself and 4 other adults to get it going.
Four.
Yeah.
4. Okay.
Exactly. 5 adults per school, 5 volunteers per school is what we need to get it going, and it helps the kids moving forward. So it's really a no-brainer if you're looking for something to give back.
Absolutely. Have you ever thought about maybe expanding, not just in the way of the schools, but expanding in the students and the grades? Do you see a particular need for those who are in middle school, or maybe they're from 4th to 5th grade? Any of that?
There's definitely a need for our older learners as well. This particular program focuses on getting them at the beginning, so our routine probably wouldn't be appropriate for those older ages. With that said, we're always open to exploring any option that supports our students. I do know Reed Muskegon is doing a program with middle schoolers that focuses on that age group. Often our older kids get left behind, right? Because they're right past that age of, I jokingly say, that they're not cute anymore, and that's what happens now.
What do you mean?
But middle school is a hard time. We know that.
Yeah,
So.
absolutely. I think it's the most awkward time for me. I'm like, what am I doing here?
I know. Even looking back on, it, I'm like, yeah, that was not an easy time, middle school. But they need us.
Exactly that part. They're probably the most interesting group to work with, actually. But so being a part of United Way, give us a little bit more of the backstory of how you ended up at United Way and your position and what you like about it.
Absolutely. So as I had said previously, I was in elementary education and I taught fourth grade for about 6 years. And I was looking for an opportunity. I have a little one at home. He's just starting kindergarten this year.
Congratulations.
Thank you. I was looking for a way to kind of have a little bit more patience at home. I felt like I was kind of using some of that up during the day. Wanted to be more present for my own child. And I found an opportunity to work with United Way through childcare at the time. So I came in actually as the regional childcare coordinator. And with that work, I facilitated a survey and planning a grant specifically focused on trying to figure out what the needs for childcare are in Muskegon, Oceana, Newaygo, Mason, and Lake counties. So I still do a little bit of that work, but with my education background, this program was already in the works, and the person who was running it had retired, and I swooped in and was like, I want that one. I want the literacy program. And so now as the education specialist, I'm really kind of anything that's early childhood at United Way. And something that our former CEO and president, Christine Norbert, would often say to us that has stuck with me is education is kind of the remedy, right, to Alice population. We need to start there. This is what keeps folks from ending up in a bad situation, is to educate them. So I always think everything starts with education, and then from there you're going to be on a better place to move forward.
Absolutely. No, I agree with that one, because education is key. Well, that's with anything.
Right.
That's something that you use throughout life. I'm an avid believer that, you have to love to learn, because learning doesn't stop. You can never know it all. And it definitely makes you think differently when you know more. So we're getting ready to wrap up the show in a minute. So give us that one last plug about the volunteers and why you need them, and go United Way.
Thank you. So if you are interested in helping our kindergarten students in Muskegon County with their early literacy, it's really easy. One day for 2 hours every week. You can sit with some kindergartners one-on-one, practice your letter sounds. Go to unitedwaylakeshore.org, click that fancy volunteer button, or you can email me at amber@unitedwaylakeshore.org, and I'd be happy to connect with you.
Yes. So as I'm not sure if you knew, but this is our 5th year anniversary today.
No, happy anniversary.
Thank you. So over 5 years, thanks to, we call him G-Man here, but Gregory Roberts, he has brought in a bunch of people into here with the help of the whole team that have given information just like you guys. So I just want to take some time out to say thank you to all of those people who have participated, to all of those who have been here from the start, for those who stuck with us, because you guys come back. Of course, he always says, you have an open invitation to come back to our show. So we look to have partnership, we look to have community, and I would think that's a really big part. And so having partnerships like that, or working with other organizations who do the same, that means a lot to us. So thanks for being on the platform as a guest on our 5-year anniversary. Thanks also to Ebony Davis, Gemini the Poet, who was our first guest. And just know, guys, that we cannot do this without you. So make sure you guys go sign up and volunteer. The kids need it. Also check out that Poetry After Dark. And as G-Man would say, that's what we call him here, he would say, go out and sow a seed, because you never know who you may affect in a good way. That is my time today. Thanks for letting me fill in. Please don't get used to it, but I love you guys. And that's it for our show. Have a great weekend, guys, and enjoy.
Have a good weekend.
The wait is over. The all-new Umoja Radio Network, home to over 40 Black-owned radio stations and podcasts, is here for you. Connect to the world's fastest-growing collection of unapologetically Black and proud media, from podcasts to independent Black-owned radio stations, and access to the important news and music you need. Umoja Radio is from our culture, by our culture, for our culture. The all-new Umoja Radio is available right now on Google Play and the Apple Store. Join the movement. Be empowered.